Thank you for watching the Silentsports video blog. Troy West said, thank you for joining me once again. This is episode 201. Today's date is October 1st, 2022. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. Happy Saturday to everybody. Everybody on the East Coast, I hope everybody is safe. Of course, the hurricane, I think it's called Hurricane Ian. I'll be forgetting about the names of it. It went through Florida, now it's coming up the East Coast. I'm in Maryland, so we're just getting basically a bunch of rain, that's all. But still, everybody be safe everywhere, but definitely if you live on the East Coast right now. Got a big show today. MLB playoff picture is clear, it's getting clear, especially in the American League. We know all the teams that's in it, and the National League has still got some spots to clinch. I explained why I got my Orioles hat on today. So we'll look at the latest standings and the playoff picture currently. NBA notes, preseason started. We'll look at that Wizards Warriors game, and the World Games over in Japan, the World Series, whatever they're calling it over there. And I got my top 5 point guards in the NBA. Pretty much a fluid list, but it's my list. I'll post it on social media later on today as well. NFL Week 4, we'll look back at the Cincinnati win over the Miami Dolphins. Hope Tua Tagovailoa is doing better. He was injured in the game. And big win for the Bengals. And we'll look at the rest of the Week 4. I picked my games. I got my big 5 games ready to go for this week. Yeah, just final thoughts, just to give you an update on the channel. Hope everybody's enjoying The Last of Us project. I'm enjoying the game. Starting to get real intense, so I'm enjoying the game, so hopefully you guys are enjoying the journey too. Also coming up, Madden is coming on today as well. After this, probably around noon I record, so it probably won't post it till close to 2 o'clock today. Week 4 as well. Ravens, Bills. We have a Madden game every week, and then we're gonna go to the MLB playoffs next week for Sports Weekend. Next weekend, MLB The Show will be back, and I've been trying to get a 2K video in. I might do that tonight. Depends on how things go here tonight. Probably do that tonight. I did it live on Twitch already this week. And Wednesdays and Thursdays, those are my scheduled live stream days. Wednesday on Twitch, and it'll be in the description. And right here on YouTube, Thursdays, we're gonna finish our Sonic Origins series. The story mode will be over the second part of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So come join me for that Thursday night. And it's a special night, well, it's a special day, Thursday period. I'll let y'all figure that one out. I'm a humble guy, but we'll see how that day goes. So let's get started with the stream though. With the show today. MLB playoffs start next weekend, next Friday I believe. The wild card series is another new round now, so there are wild card teams. Well, it's always been wild card teams, but there's an extra team this year, so it's 6 playoff teams in each league. Let's look at the main standings first. New York Yankees are your East champion, but the Blue Jays and the Rays are wild cards, and then the Baltimore Orioles just was eliminated last night. I'm from Baltimore. I'm in Baltimore. I got my Orioles hat, and just as we talked about it right now, I just want to give my shout out to them. What a season! Nobody expected them to do so well this season. I like the team. I like the direction they're going. I feel if they keep this team together, let these young players grow right here. The pitching was great this year. They did win last night, but Seattle won. I think Tampa won to officially eliminate them. So a great season no matter what. Getting the 80 wins, nobody didn't think, first of all, you wasn't supposed to finish this high, even though you're only in 4th place in the division. But this division is the best in baseball, hands down. It's not even close how competitive the AL East is. Boston as well, even though Boston is now I see here is 7 games under, but they're a good team as well. I think they had injuries, so next year definitely look forward to seeing if the Orioles can take a step forward. The Rays are unbelievable. I've been saying this for years. what they got to deal with in Tampa. Players don't stay, just everything. They just must have a real strong farm system for them to be able to compete still year in and year out. But shout out to the Orioles. So I put my Orioles hat on. I'm a Braves fan. My Braves are doing well. My Braves with a big win last night. It's tied for the the NL East lead. We're going to get to that in a second. But I'm definitely an Orioles fan. I've been an Orioles fan for a long time as well. So just keep going. You know, this was a positive step. So take that next step next season, and I think the Orioles would be great if they don't mess it up. You know, because sometimes everybody put it on Angelos, but the owner, but and it's probably mostly him. But the Orioles, they get good, and then they just dismantle the whole team. So got a lot of young guys, so hopefully we just keep our young guys and continue to build. So congratulations to the Orioles anyway, just missing the playoffs, but I think they had a great season. Central champion is the Cleveland Guardians. I almost said Indians, but I caught myself. So everybody else in the division is eliminated. In the West, you got Houston at 102 wins. The number one, actually I think they clinched. Yep, so they're going to be the 1 seed, so they don't play in that wild card round. And the Yankees probably is that second team, so Cleveland will have to play next week. So and Seattle had clinched the playoff spot first time since 2001, so congratulations to the Mariners as well. I watched a few of their games this year. They had some games live on YouTube, so congratulations to them making the playoffs. Over the National League, like I said, Braves and Mets, they both are playoff teams, but who will win the East? They get a big series. My Braves was able to win last night. Big game tonight. National television game is on Fox tonight. Probably have to check some of that out. Root for my Braves tonight. I didn't think they was going to catch the Mets, but now that we're so close to the end of the season, if they can somehow win tonight, and somehow sweep, I think we can probably hold on and win the division. I think I'd rather win the division because I think we'd be in line for that second year. We'd definitely be that second seed, so we'd have a guaranteed spot in the NLDS. So Philly's still holding on. I think they still got a good shot. We're going to look at the wild card standings in the National League in a second, in both leagues. St. Louis is just Central winners. I've been saying, I said the Cardinals is the sleepy team. That's the team to me that can throw a whole monkey wrench into this thing, with the experience, with the yes, the experience, of course, and I'm talking about Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina, Adam Wainwright, that core right there. This year's worth of experience. Just a good organization as well. So the Cardinals, definitely don't sleep on them. I think they could probably pull an upset here. Brewers still holding on, trying to get as a wild card. Dodgers way out in front. Clinched their division, clinched the 1 seed. Probably going to get over 110 wins. And let's talk about them for a second. Like the season that they had, all the injuries, the things going on with I forgot the pitcher's name, with the domestic violence thing. He was supposed to be a Icarus starter. Kershaw going in and out all year. The lineup getting twisted all around. They still pretty much dominate the baseball world. So shout out to the Dodgers. They're going to be hard to beat as well. Probably definitely the favorites to win the whole thing. San Diego Padres in second place. They still got a shot. Giants just won't go nowhere. They fell all the way to 4th place, but now they pulled up and back at over 500 again. We'll see how close they is to a wild card, but I think they pretty much hanging on for dear life. So let's look at the wild card standings now. Toronto is your 1 so far. Now these could change. Tampa and Seattle at 86 wins, so they you want that top wild card, because I think the top wild card you get a home series. So as it stands right now, it'd be the Yankees and the Astros going right to the division series. Then in the wild card series, it'd be Tampa going to Cleveland, and then it'd be Toronto and Seattle. It's a best of 3, and the higher seed, all 3 games is on your home field. So I think I like it. I think it's going to wind up being a good playoffs. But I picked Toronto to come out the American League. I'm going to stick with that for now because I think they could be sneaky. I just don't like the pitching. To me is a little inconsistent in my opinion. But I think they could. I think they could beat Houston or the Yankees or any of these teams below them. So, or Cleveland. And Cleveland, shout out to the Guardians as well because they started off slow. Looked like Minnesota was about to run away with the division, but and the expectations by the White Sox, but they overcame all that and won the Central, and it's in the playoffs. Let's go to the National League. Like I said, Braves and Mets are tied for the East lead, so the winner will definitely be that third wild card. So the only question is here: San Diego at 86 wins, +5, and Philadelphia. So Milwaukee's just a half game out. Giants is 5.5. So Giants is pretty much need a miracle. But the Brewers, they had a lot of expectations as well. Made some trades, questionable trades in the trade deadline. Philly, like I said, another team that turned it around a little bit, was struggling. They fired Joe Girardi. Ever since then, they've been playing good baseball. So I think any of those teams could do something. I like San Diego as well. So the National League is deep as well. I don't think the Giants are going to make it, which is of course not saying much. 5.5 back with 6 games left. So probably by the night they'll be eliminated. But it's going to be these playoffs are going to be great. Baseball playoffs are great. Now, if you're not a baseball fan, the playoffs are much different. It's more intense. Every pitch means something. It's just much more intense. So next, so actually, like I said, I don't know when I might just do 2 lives. I might do a live on baseball. I might just do a recording because it's not going to take me an hour to preview the MLB playoffs. So I might do a recording first, and then let that post Thursday, and then still do my live stream with Sonic Origins. But I am going to do a special episode previewing the MLB playoffs once everything gets set. So definitely stay tuned for that. Or I might just go live with both. So I might try to combine the both if I can. So just look out for that. I'm gonna do a special episode on the MLB playoffs. So that's our baseball segment for today. Let's move on to the NBA. NBA preseason started. We got the Japan series with the Warriors and the Wizards. And I think the Clippers are over there. Oh no, the Clippers was at home. I think I see here. But the Clippers to me is an interesting team this season. Oh, it was in Seattle. Okay. Game was in Seattle, but I knew they wasn't at home. Okay. But I don't put too much credence into the NBA preseason. I might touch on it here and there. But everybody was talking about the Warriors and James Wiseman, how he looked. And of course we're going to do a preview the NBA when they get closer. But he had a monster game. As he looked great. 8-11 from the field. Yeah, but if he comes back and be anything that they want him to be or hoped he could be, because the Warriors, to me, their only weakness, and they got by with Boston because Boston, but it's a lot of teams. It's not like every team got some big men that they don't, but that's the way you probably got to beat the Warriors, try to go inside. That's why I thought Denver, when they played the Nuggets, I thought Jokic, the Joker will go and dominate. He did have a big series, but he just said he had enough help, and the Warriors knew that. So But yeah, James Wiseman, that's the highlights I saw. Yeah, he did look pretty good. So, so it's like a little series over there. The Warriors and the Wizards. So they play again on the 2nd of October. In the morning. So I guess this counting so late because Japan is all like 7 to 8 hours ahead of us. So the game was at like the middle of the night. So that's got to be tough for the players to play. But yeah, I don't really put too much credence in the preseason. Players barely play. So I don't put too much stock into it. To me, it's just avoid getting injured. Like, avoid getting injured. That's the key to the preseason, because when it's time to play, the best player is going to rise to the top anyway. Unless you come off an injury like Wiseman and Kawhi Leonard, I want to see what he did. I don't know if he played. I should have looked at that. I just was in the box score. Should have looked to see if he played. But like people coming off injuries, that's the players you pretty much look at. I think Chris Paul for Phoenix, even though he wasn't hurt, but I think it's a lot of questions about did they lose a step here and there. We about to talk about Chris Paul because I'm about to do my top 5 point guard list and he's on it. But yeah, that's the only thing the preseason does for me. Like Klay Thompson, even though Klay Thompson been back, but now you got your legs wet. How he's gonna look this year. So other than that, preseason don't mean much. Just go out there, have fun, don't get hurt. That's all. So with all that being said, so you can watch the Wizards and the Warriors. I think it's on ESPN late at night. NBA TV got the game. Okay, I knew it was on one of the networks. Okay, so they might play some of their starters. I mean, some of the starters there a little bit because they over in Japan, so they might play starters a little bit longer than they normally would a preseason game. So that game 1 a.m. tonight. So definitely check that out. If you're a basketball fan, I don't got NBA TV at 1 in the morning. I gotta try to be asleep if I'm not asleep already. So okay, so let me reveal my top 5 point guard list. Top 5 NBA point guards right now in the NBA. Then we're gonna move on to the NFL. This list, like I said, it's hard to do these lists in the NBA because it's pretty much positionless basketball. Most of these guys on this list, to me, can either play other positions, or they do sometimes, or to me, not. Maybe because I'm an old school guy, a traditional point guard per se. Like I missed it, like the Jason Kidds, the Ross Stricklands, Chauncey Billups, even though Chauncey was sort of a 2 guard sometimes, but he still ran the offense pretty well. Probably had to go really, really back. But Jason Kidd to me was one of the, as far as the position, played the position probably better than any point guard ever, just because he scored when he had to score, but as far as getting people in the right spots, making sure people comfortable with the ball, fast breaks, all that type of stuff, he always looking to make the better basketball play. These point guards today, not complaining because it's exciting, but they basically a primary scorer. Some of them are, and some of them would be on this list. Okay. All right, let's start with number 5. Let's go ahead and get to this. Let's start with number 5, Trae Young for the Atlanta Hawks. He really impressed me in that playoff run they had, getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Last year, still Trae Young. They didn't. I don't think they did they make the play-in, but I think they didn't make it out the play-in. And Atlanta's a sneaky team. They might could do something this year. But I got Trae Young here. I think he deserves it. I think he finished top 5 in scoring last year. But like I said, not a traditional point guard. He's more of a scorer. But can make plays for the Hawks. I think he pretty much. They had injuries as well last year, but he's one of the most excited players. So Trae Young is number 5. Number 4, Ja Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies. Now this guy, athletically, is just off the charts. He's coming off injury, so we'll see how he looks. And they play Milwaukee tomorrow. for their first preseason game, the Grizzlies. But he's somebody that might need a little preseason burn to get himself right. I think if he wouldn't have got hurt last year, we would have had probably a different conversation with the Warriors, where they've been able to beat them. But they got a nice little young squad. But he's definitely an excited player, clutch, just to have no fear. So I like him. He's number 4 on my list. Number 3, Chris Paul. Even if he lost a step, Chris Paul's too smart. He's going to still have an impact on your basketball team. And you notice the last few years, his scoring has gone down. But he can score with the best of them. But he's probably one of the last traditional point guards left. To me, really, if you broke down the position, I would still probably want him over all of these guys, probably most of these guys. You know, just if I would need the position ran right, and I know he would do that. But this is a big year for him. Is he thinking about retirement? I mean, he haven't said anything about it, but he's getting up there in age. The Suns, to me, like I said, they're going to be in the middle of the pack in the West. I don't think they're going to be a 1 seed or on that top part of the West. I think the West is too strong, which is showed in the playoffs. But it'd be interesting to see how he plays this year. But I think he's still definitely going to have an impact. The Suns still going to be a tough team to beat. Is DeAndre Ayton going to be ready? You know, now that he got paid, is he happy? Is he going to be motivated? So all this stuff factors into the Suns, what they're going to do this year. But the West is just too strong, and I think not that they've been figured out, but I just think teams are just sort of improve and got better. So, but he's number 3. Number 2, Luka Doncic. You could argue he don't, but he has the ball in his hand. He basically is the Mavs point guard, but he scores at a high clip as well. Just a big body, he definitely had mismatches to smaller guards. So that causes mismatches all over the court. Yeah, some people, I think the gripe on him, the only gripe on him is, maybe he shoot a little too much. He shoot threes too much, and his percentage ain't high. But other than that, he definitely has no fear. I like watching him. He's exciting to watch. So I got him number 2. And number 1, gotta give it to the champion, the crown, the baby assassin, Steph Curry, for the Golden State Warriors. He's number 1 for sure. Again, he plays a little 2 guard sometimes. Draymond pretty much is the point forward there. But Curry plays the point guard position, so that's why I said this was hard to do. But coming off a championship, really, I ain't gonna lie, even me, I didn't think he was done, but I just thought he was starting to decline. But the last 2 seasons, even this season when they made the play-in, he had almost averaged 30 points a game. He was huge this year in the playoffs for the Warriors. So he still deserves a lot of respect, and he's a 4-time champion now. So Steph Curry is number 1 on my list. So Trae Young for the Hawks, Ja Morant for the Grizzlies, Chris Paul for the Suns, Luka Doncic for the Mavs, Steph Curry for the Golden State Warriors. I kind of wanted to put my man Dame Lillard on here, but he's been hurt. So let's see what kind of year he has. But he definitely was the only person I struggled not putting on this list. But there's so many young guards out here. James Harden, even though James Harden was on my shooting guard list, but he plays the point guard position. But see, that's orange and apples, I guess. Yeah, it's a lot of guys could have been on this list. Who else? I got Chris Paul on here. It's like I said, it's a lot of young guys. So, but these have to feel good with these 5. And like I said, the only person I probably would put on here is Dame Lillard for the Blazers. But these guys, I think these are the elite guys. Marcus Smart, as far as defensively, he can have an argument. But as far as playing the position, I think that's what hurt Boston in the finals last year. Trying to think of at least somebody else, but Since I can't think of nobody else, that just proves that's proving my point that this is a good 5 list. But if you come up with somebody, definitely willing to hear the argument or willing to hear why they should be on the list. But this is my 5, so I'm gonna stick with it. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the NFL now. Let's bring up the schedule. While I'm doing that, did anybody see the Thursday night game? Bengals, a big win for the Cincinnati Bengals. Coming off that Super Bowl loss, I think some people started to think they was overrated. Miami came in hot. Unfortunately, Tua got hurt before halftime, so that might have did change the element of the game. But still a big win for the Bengals to try to crawl back into contention here. Miami, I had them number 2 on my power rankings. So they probably moved down, depends on what happened this week. But Tua, hopefully he be ready. He got the extra time off because they played on Thursday night. So they say he was released from the hospital, but it was head and neck injuries. So that's never good. And it's always scary. So he's in the concussion protocol. So it's possible he could make it back and start next week. So we'll see. But big win for the Bengals. 29-17 was the final score. I just watched highlights here and there. Joe Burrow looked good. But that Cincinnati offensive line is still a weakness. That's still something they have to continue to address because no quarterback, I don't care who it is. Now they got away with it last year, but this year I don't know. But if they make the playoffs, they're going to be dangerous. Excuse me, I had to pick up something. They're going to be a dangerous team if they make the playoffs. So, but big win for them. All right, so let's do our week 4 picks. I always write my 5 big games. I got it wrote down on my notes, so I go more deeper into detail. The other games I'm just gonna pick and move on. We got a London game this week as well, and it's part of my big 5. Anyway, but a lot of interesting games on the docket this week, so we will take a look at all of those and get into it here. I'm looking to see who the Dolphins play next. The New York Jets next, the 9th. So yeah, they got some time to heal. But if he's not ready, they might go ahead and let him sit out another week, and because they might can beat the Jets without Tua, with Teddy Bridgewater is the backup in Miami. Okay, I backed our way out. Sorry. Okay, here we go. All right, so a special 9:30 kickoff as the London game this year, one of the London games. Minnesota at New Orleans, Vikings at Saints. This made my big 5 because I think this game, these two teams could see each other again because, like I said, I think both these teams could make the playoffs. Saints though off to a slow start. Jameis Winston off to a slow start. He has to play better. Putting too much pressure on that defense. Vikings, they had the bump in the road. But I think they bounced back with a big win against Detroit last week. Like I said, Vikings just very talented on the offensive side of the ball. But defensively, wouldn't be able to slow down the Saints. Alvin Kamara, I think he's going to have a big game. But you know what? I don't. They're in London though, because I said if this was in New Orleans, I probably would have picked the Saints, just because I think that crowd would be behind them. But I don't know. This is a weird game, but I'm gonna go with Minnesota. I think the Vikings. They went last week in Detroit. That's going to prevent. I think the Saints still figuring things out on the offensive side of the ball. Michael Thomas just getting back, trying to get him back in the flow of things. Unless Alvin Kamara have a monster game, I think the Vikings will hold on and win. So I'm gonna go with Minnesota here. They 3-point favorites. Anyway, Saints, to me, their offense just not consistent enough. I think it's going to hurt them in this game again. But this is a huge game, though, in the NFC. So, but I think the Saints still got a chance to turn things around, but I don't think it's going to be this week. I got Minnesota slightly. I think the 3 points is valid. Bills at Ravens. It's another Big 5 game and a huge game in the AFC. Bills coming off a loss to the Dolphins. Ravens bounced back after they lost and was able to beat New England. Disappointing loss to Miami. So both of these teams coming off losses to the same team. Or is that possible? Hold on. Well, not coming off a loss, but both of their losses this year is to the Dolphins. That's what I meant to say. But Ravens at home. I'm a Ravens fan, so I'm gonna pick the Ravens. So that's not, Bills though 3-point favorites. So that means they'd be 6-point favorites if they was home. So I don't know. Like I think this is a bad matchup for the Ravens because their defense still ain't together yet. They still get too many big plays. I see Stephon Diggs probably destroying them. Josh Allen, he can move around. This is not a good matchup for Baltimore, but I think Lamar make one more big play, and that would be the difference. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens winning. Also, like I said, the Ravens running game to me scares me too. Other than Lamar is basically the running game right now. We need J.K. Dobbins to get back to form, and Gus Edwards need to get back. I don't know what his extent of his injury is now, but he needs to get back to stabilize that running game. But Lamar, that's why what Lamar's doing is even more spectacular. No running game, and he's still doing what he's doing, passing the football. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens in a close game, but this is not a good matchup for him because the Bills' defense might be able to slow him down a bit. And you probably need that running game to balance things out, and the Ravens don't have it right now. And then on the defensive side, the secondary, they're giving up too many big plays. But I'm still going to pick the Ravens after all that. Just because I'm a fan, I'm going to pick the Ravens. Browns at Falcons. I'm going to go with the Browns here. Long as they don't hurt themselves. Run the football like we normally do, and they should be fine in that game. I'm going to go with the Browns there. Commanders at Cowboys. This almost made my list just because of how everybody talk about Dallas. Dallas only 3-point favorites though at home, and I'm gonna go with them though. I think the Dallas defense is gonna carry them in this game, and Cooper Rush might make a big play here and there. I think Dallas will do enough. I think they win over the Commanders. This is an interesting game. Seahawks at Lions. I'm gonna go with the Lions here. I think the Lions are a tier above the bad teams, and I mean that in a good way. Like Seattle's just not a good team right now. I don't think this is a game the Lions going to lose. I think they know how to win these type of games. I think there was a good test against Minnesota. I almost pulled that one out, but came up short. Seattle, like I said, I think they was just put all their emotion into that Denver game in week 1. But I think overall, I like Geno Smith. I think he's played better. I got to give him his credit. He's played decently, but I don't think it's going to be enough to let the Lions win at home. Titans Colts. This is a big game. Colts was able to finally get a win, not a tie or a loss. Titans is 1-2. This game to me, this is hard for me to pick. Colts was able to slow down Pat Mahomes, so what you think they're going to do against Ryan Tannehill? That's pretty much probably the mindset a lot of people have. But like I said, I'm going to go with the Titans just because of the experience. Like I said, I really respect Mike Vrabel. I think Derrick Henry is due to have a monster game, and I think it happens here on the road. I think the Titans surprise the Colts and win that game. I'll go with Tennessee. Bears at Giants. I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bears. The Giants, I didn't like how they looked on Monday night, what I saw. I think this is Justin Fields could probably get right in this game, even though the Giants defense is decent. But Daniel Jones, don't know, now I see it is the offensive line. The offensive line is kind of bad, so it's hard. Like people were saying, it's hard to really see how talented the kid is. But with that being said, I think the Bears could get pressure, and I think the Bears are just slightly better. I think they go in New York and win this game. Jaguars Eagles. This made my Big Five list. Jags 2-1. When the last time we said that? Not that long ago, but it's been a while. Usually they'll get their first win to mid-season or barely at all. Trevor Lawrence looked good despite with the Chargers injuries they had. He looked good. He looked like he belonged in the NFL. And Doug Peterson is their coach, so this is an interesting game storyline. He's going back to Philadelphia. The Eagles are 6.5-point favorite. I think it'll be a closer game. I think the Eagles win. Jalen Hurts, he's getting better and better each week, and that's what the NFL is about. Eagles defense is a little underrated as well. But I think because of the Doug Peterson element, I think Jags are hanging there, but I got the Eagles winning. This would be a big win. The Eagles can really take a hold of that AFC East division, even though I think Dallas is going to win this week and stay right there a game back. But I think they play each other the week after, so I think the Eagles win it. A close one, though. I think it would be an exciting game. And if the Jags win, right now the Jags in first place, I think, right? They 2-1, Titans 1-2, Colts 1-1, and the Texans 0-1. Yeah, so right now the Jaguars are. So this is the matchup between two first place teams. So it makes it for that reason. But I think the Eagles just better, and I think it shows in this game. But I think Doug Peterson's going to have some wrinkles for him. But this should be an interesting game. I got Philadelphia winning though. Jets at Steelers. Oh, this is a tough game to pick as well. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh just because they're at home, and just the same thing I said about Mike Drew. I think Mike Tomlin just finds a way to win games when it's pretty much even. So I think the Steelers pulled that one out. Everybody don't call it for the rookie Prickett, so I don't know. I don't know if I can vouch for that yet, but Mitch Trubisky do got to play better. Now Joe Flacco been playing well for the Jets. That comeback win against Cleveland, but really other than that, he hasn't been consistent. So I think the Steelers will be able to bring that out, probably force a few turnovers. So I see Pittsburgh winning. Chargers at Texans. If Justin Herbert ain't playing, I don't know. Matter of fact, let me see. If he's not playing, I might go with Houston here because the Chargers just did not look good at all once he got out. Oh, he's not on the injury list, so I guess he's gonna play. So if he's gonna play, I pick the Chargers. But Texans, with Mills, he's not that bad, but also they don't got no Joey Bosa. He's not playing. And Keenan Allen is not playing. So still, Chargers got a few injuries, but I think Justin Herbert will be enough to win this game. The Texans, though, they're not no pushovers, though. I think they make it close. Let's see. The line is 5.5. I think that's about right. 5.5 is about right. But I'm going to go with the Chargers, though. Cardinals at Panthers. This is a little bit of a tricky game as well. But just because I believe in Kyler Murray a little bit more than I believe in Baker right now, I'm going to go with the Cardinals on the road. But I think it's going to be close. Carolina is favorite, but a point. But I think the Cardinals pull it out and win on the road. Patriots at Packers. I think Green Bay wins. I think Matt Jones, he's hurt, so he might not be playing. Let me look at the injury list real quick. He's not on here either, so I guess he's going to try. They said day-to-day. Well, Bill Belichick said day-to-day 20,000 times. So day-to-day usually means he might most likely he'll play. But he did injure himself at the end of the game last week against the Ravens. But I just think Green Bay's defense sort of slowed them down. Aaron Rodgers haven't looked like Aaron Rodgers yet. Maybe this the game he could, because the Ravens did have a lot of big plays. So we'll see if the Packers could exploit that. But with Bill Belichick, you just never know. He might got a good scheme, make it a close 30 game. But I just think Green Bay is just superior. I think they win this game. I think 9.5 though might be too much. They 9.5 favorites. Broncos at Raiders. I'm gonna go with the Raiders here. This is probably my last week. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I was like Raiders. I just think, I think they're not a bad ball club, but they just, I don't know. It seems like they just can't finish games. But Denver to me hasn't looked good yet. And I love Russell Wilson, but they just haven't looked good yet on the offense. So I think I'd be in a division game. I think the Raiders would be ready for them. Slow them down enough. I think David Carr make a few more plays than Russell Wilson, and I would take the Raiders in this game. They're 2.5 favorites though too. All right, probably one of the biggest games of the weekend: the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady against Mahomes. You know, all the hoopla, blah blah blah. But I think it's going to probably come down to the defenses in this game. Now Tom Brady hasn't looked like looking sharp. Then they have a lot of injuries as well at the receiving core, the offensive line, and everything else. Patrick Mahomes usually don't have 2 bad games in a row. So with that being said, I'm gonna take Kansas City in this game. This is on my Big 5 list. The spread is even, so and that's that. The spread is even. I don't know who, you know. Now I kind of was leaning towards the Bucs because of their defense and they're at home, but I just think Patrick Mahomes gonna find a way to crack some codes here, make a few big plays, and it'll be a close one. I think the Chiefs pull it out on the road. That's Sunday Night Football, by the way. And then Monday night, Rams at 49ers. I'm gonna go with the Rams. Even though the 49ers have owned the Rams in the regular season. Rematch of the NFC Championship game, but I think that Rams defense is going to slow down Jimmy G. But I think it's going to be a tight game, though. They got the Niners' favorite. Matthew Stafford haven't played that great yet. I think he'll have a big game this game. And I think the Rams pull it out and win a close one in San Francisco. So that's it for our Week 4 picks. You know, just come and watch it over if you want to see, if you missed your team. Definitely rewind. But I say a lot of interesting games this week that could go a long way to determine a lot of things further down the road in the season. But I thank you guys so much for joining me every week. Thanks to my new show. Let me see if I can. Oh, there I can't. I can't pull it up right now while I'm recording. But if I do, in fact, I'm gonna after I end this, I'm gonna go to my subscriber list and see if they're active. And if they are, I definitely shout you out. I shout you out on the Madden video later on. So I forgot that, so I apologize. But to wrap up the video, like I said, coming up on the channel, Last of Us, you'll be seeing videos of that. We'll do video 5 probably Monday. Madden, like I said, Madden today at noon, around noon. I'll be recording at noon. Probably don't post till about, like I said, till about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But you'll see the Ravens Bills, which is week 4. It's week 4 in my season as well. So check that out. More Sonic Origins. We're gonna start doing the boss rushes. I'm gonna start with Sonic the Hedgehog 1. But right now we're playing mirror mode of Sonic and Knuckles. The Knuckles playthrough. So that's some more Sonic Origins. Then next Thursday live, the story mode as we finish off the whole Sonic Origins with the second part of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So that's all coming up. Wednesday, Twitch stream. I don't know if I'm gonna do Twitch. I might go back to Ninja Turtles. Not sure yet, but I might have something. I might do NBA 2K again. Just do a different team for the Brooklyn Nets. So, or just have a longer game. Make it 9 minutes instead of 6 minutes a quarter. So that's the things that's coming up. Like I said, always check out my social media. You can stay up to date of what's going on the channel. a lot of little tidbits. College football. Today, a couple of big games, so definitely check that out. Roger Federer retired. So shout out to him. Other than that, that'll do it for this week. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I'll go ahead and get this video together for you guys. I definitely like your input. I like your input. If you disagree with me, agree with me, or whatever, just to have dialogue. Definitely give your opinions. I put my point guard list up later on social media, so look out for that. Probably do it around after I finish my Madden recording. So look out for that. Maybe we'll have a debate. You can definitely hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we're right here on YouTube. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Like I said, I'm really gonna look at the description out right now. And if I can see who it is, I'm definitely gonna shout them out. I appreciate you guys so much. I thank you guys for being so supportive, to my loyal supporters. I'm worried about a couple of my supporters. I haven't seen my girl Helping Hearts 88 in a while, so hopefully everything's going well with her. And Yellow K Diamond, haven't seen her in a while. She haven't been posting no videos, so like I said, but people deal with real life like me. Sometimes, I go a couple of days without posting. So I be doing it around work, so it kind of sucks. But hopefully she's okay. Hopefully both of them ladies are alright. But like I said, Garrett Spence, I've been trying to keep up with him. Go check his channel out. They do a lot of retro games. Blue Television Games. He got a big platform, Darby, but he's great. Definitely everybody should follow example by him. If I ever get, big, I would definitely emulate him, most of what he does, and mix my sports in there as well. Definitely check his channel out. So there's a lot of people to thank. My man Don Warren Parker, y'all know him as Don Warren. He laugh at me every time I call him that. But he's just celebrated a birthday almost a week ago, so it was good to chop it out with him last week. But he's a supporter, so I thank him, and everybody else who's been supporting. I know it's people who's got their own issues, so it's here and there, but I thank any type of support. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations again to the Baltimore Orioles. Despite y'all missing the playoffs, y'all had a great season. Definitely keep pushing forward. Shout out to my Braves. I'll probably wear my Braves hat next week as we get ready for the postseason. Hopefully we can win this division, but if not, I feel good about playing in the wild card round. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Talk to you guys soon. And peace and love. Check me out on social media later on. Check out the Madden video later on. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.